Hello, chat. How's everybody doing today? Hello, Phantom. Welcome in. How are you doing today? It's a lot of projects. Yeah. I finished my project for operating systems. So I've got a couple of finals, but I'm mostly done for this semester. So yeah. My operating systems project was actually kind of funny because howdy next, welcome in. Yeah, so we had to demo it with the TA, right? And so I was partnered with this dude that's online, right? As an online student. So I mean, we had talked like twice. So I pretty much did the entire thing because I was the one with the actual Raspberry Pi that I had actually demoed the project, and so I show up, and I was not. The problem with our project is I could not get the Raspberry Pi to connect to the school network because I had it entirely set up through like remote connection, because like I can only access my Raspberry Pi through like a remote connection, right, from my computer, because I don't have like a screen or a keyboard or any peripherals for it. So I had like half the project. The project had to include the Raspberry Pi. That was the entire point of the project. And so that part of the project I just couldn't demo because I couldn't get onto it through the school network. So the presentation was actually kind of terrible because I couldn't actually demo the full fucking project, but I did impress the TA by writing the entire thing in Rust. Because the TA was like, I love Rust, but also I've never seen any students use it before. I was like, sweet. Okay, because he was genuinely curious. He was like, okay, so why did you write this in Rust? And I was like, well, the real answer is because we had to do this in like a week, even though we had the entire semester to do it. And I'm most familiar with Rust right now, and that was going to be quicker. But the fake reason that I gave him was like, oh yeah, we're doing embedded programming on a Raspberry Pi, and Rust is a cooler solution because it's not quite, it's more modern version of C++ and whatever. I was like, that was the real reason I gave you, or that was the reason I gave you, but the real reason is just because that's the one I know more, and I was doing all of it. So, but yeah. That project was a disaster, but hey, we got through it. Yeah. Howdy Hez, welcome in. A little bit silent at the beginning. That's fun. It's fine. You eat food that is important. Gaslighting teachers is always, yeah. It's fun. I mean, yeah. I impressed him with the fact that it was written in Rust, and Yeah, so I'll take it. So very much needs it. Good. I mean, sometimes that happens. Currently making some tea, and then we'll hop right into it. Just making some of my morning tea. But yeah, so the plan. I know the Genshin update is out. I'm gonna wait until I get home from school because, you know, the internet at my parents' house is way better than the shitty ass internet in my apartment. So, I am gonna wait until then to download the update and get that all going, and doing that stream. And yeah, we'll actually be able to start streaming more now too. After Wednesday is when my last final is, so I'm excited for that shit. I am so excited to start streaming more. Play more games and stuff. 1 to 2 hours left of 3.2. Perfect, because that'll also give us time to watch the new trailer and all that stuff. So yeah, this is more whale streams. I know, it's crazy. I don't know quite what I'm gonna do, because I have a couple of big games that I want to play. Because like if I start streaming like even just 2 times a week now, there's not gonna be enough Hoyo content to like fill that time. So like I have a handful of games I think I want to play on stream, because I have a couple of games that I've wanted to play for a really long time but haven't had the chance to. So I have like Red Dead Redemption 2, I have The Witcher 3, I have Persona 4, I have Cyberpunk, I have Death Stranding, like a bunch of games that I've wanted to play for a really, really long time, but I've never had the chance to. So like we could start doing like variety more, like stuff like that. I could also just start playing League of Legends on stream, because that's always that's always an option. Variety, we're probably going to the Twitch though. I've started thinking about moving Variety over to Twitch, but we'll see. That's in the future here. For now, let us do this. Boop. Oh. Gotta get you captured. I was watching a video and they said that it's a Mobius strip. It's gotta be. I don't believe anything else. It's gotta be a Mobius strip, because like we're talking about like loops and shit, and like come on, like in the story of the game we're talking about like loops and stuff and all that jazz. Like it's gotta be a Mobius strip, right? It's gotta be. Yeah, I know. New characters. Hyacine. And Cypher. Quantum Nihility. Ooh, okay. Interesting. We'll see. Yeah, no, we talked about it on stream back at the start of Amphorius. The idea that was one of the first things I noticed was it looks like a Mobius strip. And that was kind of my like, huh, interesting sort of reaction. And that was all confirmed when we started talking about like loops and stuff. Anyways, okay. So we start timer in 3, 2, 1, loop. I now need to save up for finan. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in a sketchy part. I'm glad I'm going back to school, or I'm going back to work, because kind of want Hyacinth too. Like I got who's and what's it. I got a Casterus, and now I kind of want Hyacinth, and like I'm in a position. I am in a position right now. Okay.
Let those Chrysos heirs who started this terrible war hear you. Let them hear the voices of the people.
Cypher best girl? I mean, she's chill. Yeah, I mean, she's chill. I'm not.
As always, that woman knows how to stir up a crowd.
Professor Anaxa, I thought you'd pass on this.
Everyone must cast their vote, or this assembly would serve no purpose.
Prof, do you truly think it's wise to entrust the fate of the world to an assembly like this?
Akama has stood strong under this system for 1,000 years. It stands to reason that there is purpose in its existence. But that is not what you're asking, is it? What you really want to know is Aglaya making the right decision in entrusting the fate of the world to you?
Nothing ever escapes you.
I didn't spend all those years.
Please don't portray us like can't handle trauma in a healthy manner. I mean, it's a fair ask.
To graduate, if I recall.
To tell the truth, I feel like I'm on my
Hey,
way
no
to
shame in taking some extra time. That's what I'm gonna have to do.
Podium.
There's no shame.
So, do you have an
Some
answer to
people
that
just
question?
aren't built for school as much as others.
No, I don't.
I thought so.
Because that question is not yours to ask in the first place. Is Aglaya entrusting the world to you the right decision? Don't make me laugh. That is a question that woman must answer herself. Why are you fretting about this on her behalf? Or have you been seeing yourself as her pawn all this time? Listen up. I'll say this only once. Flip your perspective around and ask yourself this instead. What should I do to ensure that the world doesn't stray from the correct path?
Honestly, base.
That is what you should be thinking about.
Honestly, what a point
You
in
still
access.
have time, so give it some thought. Oh, and don't bother telling me the answer. Tell it to those begging for salvation from the gods.
Got it. Thank you, Professor Anaxa.
That's Anaxagoras to you.
Who will you be voting for?
That'll depend on how well you perform. May Cersei safeguard your thoughts.
Okay. Ooh. Military runner.
Oh.
Lord Anaxa, you're finally here. Last speaker for the assembly will be taking the stage soon. The resolution will be passed after that. Lady Kindness has reserved a special seat for you. Shall I show you to it? Let's go.
I actually don't necessarily find things.
Elders and citizens, silence, if you please. As the Theoros, I present to you Finan of Ides Elysiae, virtuous citizen of Akama, and the last speaker of the assembly.
Much obliged, Lord Lycus.
I remember him. He's the penniless lad working for Aglaya. Where's Lady Goldweaver? Why is she sending this guy to give the last speech? Is this really the end of the Flame Chase journey?
Can this dude really face down kindness? I actually don't necessarily.
Time to do dishes? Yay, best part of making things. This is why I don't really cook very much for myself.
By Kefali above, dear citizens of Akima, as you look upon me, so too do I see you. I see your fear and misgivings, your apprehension about the discord between the Chrysos heirs and the Council of Elders. And
Please don't see me, please don't see
your
me, please don't see
uneasiness
me.
about the future
See me.
of the Holy City.
Sorry.
Yet, before you contemplate something as grand as the fate of the world, I ask that you look closer. Look beyond the horizon illuminated by Kefali, at the crisis threatening to overwhelm us.
What?
Hydes Elysiae, my beloved hometown, is a village forgotten by time. It is a place with the most invigorating breeze and wheat fields that spread all the way to the sea. I once thought that there I would enjoy a lifetime of peace and quiet with my friends and family.
Lamau.
How I wish I could invite all of you to that paradise, far from the noise and chatter of the world. Alas, I can't.
Where are we going with this, Fennon?
She and all that she nurtured. All
Man,
that
just
I
trauma
loved,
dumping the people. Yeah, trauma dumping on name.
by the
True.
black tide.
Come on, man.
beloved
This is not the
home
place to have a
is no
breakdown.
more. I will never forget the day the black tide struck. My father, Hieronymus, fought with a broken sword to his last breath to protect his child. My mother, Aldada, she was ripped apart by monsters. Also, I might live to stand before you here and now. Galba, he was a hunter. But in the end, those arms that once drew a bow instead embraced Piso, his beloved son, as they both breathed their last. Pythias, the teacher, risked her life to save her students, but a burning beam fell on her, crushing her. And what of Livia, her daughter? Did she make it out alive? No, she didn't. Livia, Piso, and so many other children. My childhood friends. They were all swallowed by the black tide and turned into monsters. They kept saying the same thing over and over. Even up until the final moment, I finally steeled my heart and granted them eternal peace with my sword. Why, Finan? Aren't we the best of friends?
Aglaya was like, I was expecting
is
him to
the
be
black tide.
a little bit more chill.
A looming threat that can bring Akima to its knees any time. Kindness may have promised that with the 3 Titans of Calamity Con, Akima will return to an era Chrysia once more, but much as it pains me, I must disappoint you. While the demigod of strife has done everything in his power to hold them back, they are still coming. By now, the name of that black-robed swordmaster, the Flame Reaper, has likely echoed throughout the city already. The roaring thunder is a message from the strife demigod. The Flame Reaper has risen from death, and they hunger
Will's
for
not
the
impressed.
core
Try hard to
flames
find
of
it.
the gods.
You know, yeah, it's a little melodramatic for me.
Lies! If such a powerful enemy is indeed approaching, why is Akuma still a picture of peace?
Do you not understand how time works, my dude? They are on their way here. They are not here yet, dude. Come on. These are concepts that children learn.
Exactly. The city of Akuma shows no signs of pandemonium or chaos. And why is that? I beg you, spare a moment to think about this. Are we able to stand here and hold this assembly in peace today because the danger has passed? No. This peace we enjoy is no gift of fate. We are able to stand here today only because the Chrysos heirs have stepped up and shielded Akuma from calamity. With her golden threads, Aglaya has preserved and continues to preserve these idyllic days that all of you hold dear.
Max is not
Council
impressed.
of Elders claims that Aglaya will one day forsake the people because her divinity is eroding her body and soul. But ask yourselves this. Rather than offering her aid and support, why do they choose to watch and push Akuma away from the flame chase journey? The answer that no one can bring themselves to speak of. A truth stained in blood and buried in greed, fear, and vanity. Allow me to lay it bare before
Okay, this I can get behind. This part I can get behind. Calling people out on their bullshit. I like that. That's pretty based.
It is because the Council of Elders, which bears Akuma's history and honor, along with this citizens' assembly we once took so much pride in, are now infested with vermin.
Lamau.
You insolent whelp! How dare you!
It is true that Aglaya has reached her limit. Why? Because she has been working tirelessly to weave the defenses of our holy city against the encroaching evil. All while these vermin are making up baseless accusations about her and scheming in the shadows.
I mean, okay, there's good and bad to this
Has
approach.
she ever failed Akuma?
Man is approaching this
Yet
problem
these
with
vermin attempt to
all
tear
the
her
grace
apart,
and finesse of a
tarnishing her
blunt
name
weapon.
with unfounded allegations. She may have been blessed by divinity, but hasn't her heart always stayed true to humanity? They attempt to mislead you and reduce this assembly to a crude standoff between gods and humans, but citizens of Akuma. Once more, I implore you to open your eyes and look at those around you.
Oh, they sent me videos? Ooh, plants. The lantern help this man.
Examine them closely. Beneath all that finery, do you see the good heart of a human or the poisonous glands of a pest? Make your judgment, then turn your gaze to the demigods whom so many of you regard as cold and merciless. Do you not see the light of humanity in them? And those who wear the mask of humanity yet utter only hurtful, slanderous words. Can you not see that their souls have been corrupted by power? Yet, no matter what your answer is, and no matter who your vote goes to, rest assured that you have nothing to fear. For Aglaya, Tribios, and I will remain your faithful guardians and pledge our lives to upholding your decision. And this vow will stay true until the end of our days, where it will be passed on to future flame chasers. A steadfast and unwavering promise that shall endure through the ages.
Absolutely right. This graceful heirs have only our best interests in mind.
In an uproar, representatives and leaders from different cities in Akama throw pieces of pottery into the Dolium.
At the present time, on the scales of Talentum, those who call for the continuation of the Flame Chase journey, and those who demand its suspension. Each faction holds an equal share of votes, resulting in a perfect balance.
Who would be pleased?
As expected. This is the moment when the Flame Chase journey is the closest to its end.
And now, it's your turn to vote, Lord Anaxagoras.
Bruh. Leaving it to fucking Anaxa is... This is too good to be true.
Is there anyone else who hasn't voted?
No, you're the last. Cast your vote with care, for your decision will break this impasse.
I still can't get over the fact that he speaks like the fucking G-Man.
I have long since made a decision.
Very well. May you bring much needed change to this farcical world.
When I tell you that this moment was the most stressful of the entire quest for me, I could see it, yeah. Let's go, politics. Throw your name to the goblet of fire, Anaxa. Wait, wrong thing.
You've done well, Finan. Given the circumstances, delivering a rousing speech to stir up emotions was a prudent move. Thank you all for your patience. On behalf of
Anaxa,
the
why are you
sages,
giving
the
a
Grove of
speech, dude?
Epiphany,
You are here to
and the
vote. Like,
scholars of
imagine.
Amphorius, I, Anaxagoras, am ready to cast my vote.
Nobody cares. Imagine if somebody walks into like a polling place in a real world election and like, my name is Whale. I am going to fucking vote for this person. Hoorah! Like that. And in the States, you would probably get arrested for trying to sway a vote.
But before that, in the interest of fairness, Lady Goldweaver, I pose a question to you before all who are gathered here. Will you, as Finan has promised, stand by the decision made in the assembly, regardless of outcome?
The great performer. Fair enough, actually.
In the interest of fairness, I make no promises, lest it should influence your decision.
Very well. I thank you for your honesty.
Aglaya's just fed up with this shit. Harry Potter?
What's he doing?
The stakes are high. Let's be patient.
Cut the act! Who do you think you are wasting our time like this?
See, that's where okay. Before I was like, you're a dumbass, but now I'm like, fair. I agree with that.
Lord Anaxa, please do not forget that I...
Rule number 1, do not call me Anaxa. Rule number 2, never interrupt me. Silence is golden.
Just vote already. What are you waiting for?
Get on with it! What the fuck? Get on with it!
I cannot help but wonder, is every hardship in the world something you will exploit and use to your advantage?
Everybody is...
how else am I supposed to make use of this situation where my body and soul are separated? Oh, Circes. Or should I say Calypso? Accompany me on this final journey.
Is it Cersei's and Calypso or Ceres and Calypso? It's Ceres and Calypso in the D-time. Okay. Anyways, sorry. Sidetrack.
Let us journey to the Netherrealm and see how she will
Did he
substantiate
vote?
the answer to your question and validate my decision. We need only to follow the sound of the tides.
Imagine he just didn't vote. He just leaves it as a tie. It's like, okay, how are we gonna break this shit?
Well done, child. Just as I foresaw, you have achieved great things.
Empedocles.
Teacher.
What a twist of fate. A blasphemer raised in the doctrines of the Venerationists. It's like a foal kicking its mother in the belly after taking all her milk.
I respect you immensely, sir, but
you cherish the truth even more. So, child, do not be troubled by the criticisms I have borne. Do not let those voices hinder you as you forge ahead.
Goated teacher.
As the sage of the Venerationists, I am duty-bound to oppose you. But, as your friend and mentor, Anaxagoras, I say, go forth, for the truth is already in your hands.
Honestly, goated.
I will keep
More
that
people
in
need to
mind.
be like you, Empedocles. Yo, I don't agree with you, but I'm also your teacher, so like, fucking go on, go off.
Go now,
Go off, bud.
Your lonely pursuit is about to welcome a new chapter. And when you reach the end of this journey, may we meet again with the truth before us.
Huh. Huh. Okay, that's Genshin coded. What the fuck? Hiya, Ozzy, welcome. Euthifron translates to straight thinking. Couldn't be me. Yeah, that's very Genshin coded. When you reach the end of this journey, may we meet again. That's crazy. That's Genshin. Okay.
You have my word, sir. May Circes safeguard your thoughts.
May Circe safeguard your thoughts.
I need to listen to that
You're
album
right,
again.
Empedocles. My lonely pursuit is about to welcome a new chapter. I must be on my way now. May we meet again with the truth before us, Empedocles.
What are you waiting for?
Get
Just
on
cast your
with
vote.
it. Welcome back, Hez. The fucking, it's so Monty Python to me. Of just get on with it. I am going to recommend. I don't know if I've talked about this album on stream before, but I can't help but think of it every single time.
Silence! Silence, everyone!
I can't help but think of it every single time he says Calypso. Is this album very highly recommend it. Ceres and Calypso in the Deep Time by Candy Claus. Super good. Has the whole chapter been almost 10 hours long? Yes.
Behold, Circes, here at the center of the world.
Yes, it
I
has.
shall write the final step of my
This has just been the 3.2 quest.
For this place
Purely, just
is but
on its
one
own.
step away from the truth.
Granted, this is in whale hours. I think Phantom took like 8.5 hours, they said. But yeah, no, it's chunky. It is a pretty thick fucking quest.
Professor, I completed the proof you wanted.
Thank you, Castorus.
The answer is plain as day. My vote
Hell yeah.
goes to the Flame Chase journey and nothing else.
I have deciphered the truth of this world.
With the balance shattered, the result is clear. By carefully enter Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed.
I'm quite quick, but seeing you take your time lets me notice things I miss. Yeah, true. That's why I do the thing. Your pianist winner makes it the next round. The guy that we were watching during stream, I do not believe moved on, which was a surprise to me. Unfortunately, but I've been making my way through watching all the performances of the people that did make it through. And yeah, there's some good fucking performances. Also, give it up for hour 10, buckos. Let's fucking go.
You can't. Onyxa, what have you done? Have you lost your mind? I hope you are prepared for the harsh punishment awaiting you. Mark my words, I will make sure.
Howdy,
that
Alex. Welcome
clever
in.
head of yours never forgets the price of betrayal.
See, that's not how democracy works.
Have you forgotten? I told you that happens to be one of my rare talents.
You put on such a grand performance just to aid their preposterous flame chase journey.
He's a theater kid. He can't help it.
Performance? No.
That doesn't sound
You are
very
quite
democratic of you.
mistaken. I may be paranoid by nature, but I've always been known for my honesty.
Is Finon coming out 3.3 or 3.4? 3.4, I believe. Yeah, because the next patch is going to be Hyacine and Cypher. So yeah, Finon is 3.4.
If you really understood me, Lady Kindness, you'd realize that I never had any interest in your pathetic little game of politics. Factions, standpoints, they are jokes in my eyes. I have never once switched sides, because I, and I alone, am the truth.
Lady Kindness,
You go.
with all the citizens here as witnesses, we should honor the spirit of democracy and respect the decision of this assembly.
Thank you, Lygus, for not fucking everything up, because I was very suspicious that you were gonna fuck everything up.
I have observed that Akama has chosen her destiny. This citizens' assembly has resolved to continue the flame chase journey. This resolution shall be put up on the wall of heroes, such that all citizens are aware of the city's way forward.
You!
She ain't happy.
Seems not everyone is ready for the assembly to end. Very well. Let me entertain you for a little longer.
He's just like baiting the crash out.
By your leave, Lord Lygus.
Interesting. Elders and citizens, your attention, please. Stay for a moment more, if you will. Anaxagoras of the Grove of Epiphany has an announcement for the assembly. What is this performer up to now?
Just moments ago, all of you made a decision on the fate of Amphorius. As a supporter of the Flame Chase journey, it pleases me to see the choice you have made. But I regret to say that I still harbor doubts about this outcome. Thus, I hereby challenge this resolution.
And Aglaya is like, what?
Tell me, who among you dare swear to Kefali's name that Era Nova will truly welcome the fairy tale ending that the Chrysos heirs have promised? A beautiful new world free of calamity and madness?
Yeah, Anax is like, yeah, I voted for them, but also I'm gonna challenge this shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
No one? Must I pick somebody to answer? Very well. You, the one acting so wise and profound. In front of all present here, do you dare swear that it will happen for sure?
Is he talking about Lagus? No, okay.
No? Fine. Next. You, the one with ignorance written all over your face. Yes, you. Do you dare swear by it in front of the Titan?
What are you trying to do?
Useless.
Exactly.
Your turn, then. With that smug look of yours, you must be confident that the Flame Chase journey is the best course to take, right?
Hey! Mind your tongue!
So, no one? I see. In that case, Finan, answer me this. Your speech was filled with such passion just now. How confident, then, are you in making this promise?
Professor, what are you doing?
Let him continue with his performance.
Will you look at that? Even Finan and Aglaya lack the courage to make such a promise.
I wouldn't say it's a lack of courage. I think they're just confused. Like, this is really weird.
And what's even more absurd is that no one but I can promise you this new world. And yet, the Assembly passed the resolution anyway.
Well, it was up to you, so I mean, it makes sense.
But you needn't worry, because I knew better than to trust you good-for-nothings. That is precisely why I am here today. To give you one final lecture.
Okay. Sure, an accent. Howdy, Quinn. Welcome in. Aglaia just grabbed the popcorn. Yeah, she like all of her responsibilities gone. She left that up to Finan.
Anaxagoras of the Grove of Epiphany hereby declare.
She's like, okay, I'm just curious now.
Everything that the Flame Chase journey promises is true. Finan of Ides Elysiae, the prophesized demigod who shall succeed Kefali, will reforge each and every one of us in the new world with his complete, intact memories.
What?
The core flame-bearing titans were the Chrysos heirs of yesterday, and the Chrysos heirs who carry the core flames today will become the titans of tomorrow. All of our souls shall endure for eternity in the miracle of the World-Bearer, and all under Kefali's protection shall step into that new world.
They'll hate them in an axe at a room. What would happen? A calm challenge of mindsets or a fight? They would... I feel like they would get super chippy, but very verbal. Like they would... No physical altercation would take place, but they would get super chippy in like in their dialectic really fast.
This is your blasphemy!
It's impossible.
What?
Are you saying that we must bow down to you and worship you even in our next lives? Enough, you blasphemous imbecile. How
Yeah, he's
dare
just
you
baiting
try to deceive
Kindness.
us with all these lies and falsehoods. How can you prove?
I told you, don't interrupt me. But since you've asked, I shall be kind.
At least raise your hand, Kindness.
My statements are based on my experiments on the divine body of Kefali themselves. You heard me correctly, everyone. With the tacit approval of Kindness and the Council of Elders, I fused my soul with a god through alchemy and learned the truth behind Era Nova.
What is he talking about? Isn't that pure blasphemy?
I, the vile, wretched blasphemer, deserve nothing less than death for my sins.
Dottore moment. That actually makes a lot of sense. Holy shit. Wait. Doing a little bit of blaspheming. An experiment in blasphemy. Ooh, okay.
And the Council of Elders, which granted me consent.
Maybe Dottore
and
is doing
aided in
something
committing this
similar
atrocity,
with Irminsul?
should face punishment alongside me.
By the gods, even Kindness has betrayed Akuma.
Lamau. You've been baited, Kindness.
I had no knowledge of his transgressions. He did that on his own. The Council of Elders bears no response. Lord Lygus, as the esteemed Theoros, are you going to simply stand by and allow the Council of Elders to be dragged through the mud?
Alright, he doesn't give a shit.
If the accusation is true, I will acknowledge it. If not, my conscience stands unburdened. Lady Kindness, the reputation of the Council of Elders was not built in a day, nor will it be shattered overnight. Repercussions await those who fool the people, and punishment must be meted out on those who abandon their vows. We should respect this beautiful city and her people.
You...
Lady Aglaya, the Gold Weaver, I humbly ask that you take on the responsibility of overseeing this judgment in the name of the fairness of Talantin and the justice of Kefali.
Why? Aren't you supposed, like, literally, your entire point, Lygus, is to be the neutral third party.
Considering the circumstances, and in accordance with Akuma's codex, as the only demigod among us, you shall rightfully wield this authority.
The honor is mine to bear.
How is this permitted?
Elders and citizens, silence, if you please. Anaxagoras of the Grove of Epiphany has made his statement clear. As per Akuma's codex, I request all present citizens to stand with me in exercising the right of judgment. First, Elder Kindness of Akuma and Lygus the Theoros stand accused of neglecting their duties and abusing the law, leading to the egregious blasphemy against a god. In the names of Talantin and Kefali, Akuma is to form a committee before the 7th action hour to conduct an investigation and disclose the findings to the public for subsequent judgment.
Curse you.
Now, concerning Anaxagoras of the Grove of Epiphany, he has confessed to grave blasphemy against Kefali. In the names of Talantin and Kefali, the accused must be allowed to hear the people's voice prior to the execution, for a chance at a reduced sentence and possible pardon.
Professor.
Let him die! Let him die!
This is what he wanted.
Let him die!
What decision will you make, Lady Gold Weaver.
Enough with the hesitation, Aglaya. This is not like you.
Let him die!
Then, in light of the people's voice, O Talantan on high, may you bring death upon him.
Okay. Are some voices still muted in HSR? Still in Don Hong, pretty much. Sea of Flowers? Haha, it is. Hey, why are we here? What is this place? Hi, Castros.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. I bore the name of Castrus while walking among the mortals. And now, I stand as the demigod of death, the living side of Thanatos. Welcome to my realm, where the west wind ends.
It's such a good set piece. Mom, I made it. My character arc is finally done. No, it isn't. What the fuck are you talking about? Your past is still a mystery, Cell.
Every departed soul who has arrived here has expressed the same. Did you know? Every flower here was planted by Thanatos themselves. These flowers were originally both lifeless and immortal. But in the first rain brought by the River of Souls, they were given new life, flourishing as the bearers of countless souls. And it is my duty as the Master of Death to tend to their well-being and foster their growth in this serene haven. Similar to the structured cycle of life and death in the mortal world, these flowers too shall wither and fade, returning to the earth and then ascending to the sky with mist and tides.
Yeah, a few of the Stellar Hunters. Yeah, it's mostly just those.
Eventually,
everybody else in
they will descend to the
Emporius
mortal land as gentle rain.
is still voiced.
Every soul undergoes the perpetual cycle of reincarnation, albeit in varied forms, until the world meets its end. Yet, sadly, there's no time left for Emporius to wait for when the flowers bloom again. Now, death is the power at my fingertips. It once led the souls of the deceased here, but I shall open the gate of the netherworld and return you to the realm of the living.
Chill.
In exchange, please, take the core flame of death with you and complete the flame chase journey. Do not let our work thus far be in vain.
You're not going back?
Just like the other demigods, I will stay here and embrace my destiny.
So who's gonna be the bearer of death? Can't be us.
That being said, it is not easy to guide a lost soul back to the mortal realm. The whispers of death are sweet and alluring. If your determination wavers, you will succumb and be forever ensnared by the netherworld's grasp. Please consider this a one-time exception. I will do everything in my power for the flame chase journey. And for your life, the only life I can save. I am...
Stella's death itself would be really funny. It would be so funny. That would be so silly. She would unironic. She would... Ah, 'Ah, oh, March! 'Ah, 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 March! 'Ah,
I believe in you.
Marchie! You're to see an Orpheus parallels? True, actually. Well, yeah, okay, so while we're here, let's take a quick little gander here at the Sea of Flowers and point out once again this. The butterflies, the flowers, same color, same concept. The sky's the same color. The soft rolling hills. What the fuck was Zila doing here? What the fuck was Zila doing in Amphorius? This girl makes no sense. This girl makes absolutely zero sense. But hello, Marchie. Homeward journey, never look back upon the path whence you came. Oh, that's interesting. One day our paths will cross again. Hello, Firefly.
Look back.
Lift your chin up high and step forward with us toward tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's right. Keep your eyes on the dawn.
All right, howdy, Rico. Hope you feel better soon.
Partner.
Even though you can't hear me, I hope you feel better soon.
Together.
Okay, interesting. Almost there. Hey, that's my wallpaper. It is very pretty. Finally. That thing that we saw at the end of the last patch. Thank you, Caceres. Because I've already made it to the end, maybe I can have one last glance at the Sea of Flowers. Don't turn around. Keep looking forward. What are you doing here? Huh? Okay. What the fuck is Acheron doing here? What? Fear not, as a touch of red will be waiting you at the end of the path. Babe? Okay. I genuinely didn't expect that. Like, okay. I was weirded out by the fact that whoa, wait, okay. So I was weirded out by the fact that we had red text a little bit. Like we ran into red text last stream. I was really weirded out by that because we hadn't seen that since what's his face, right? We hadn't seen the red text since Penacony. But I didn't think a whole lot of it. But now, like, this is just straight up, hi, here's Acheron. This is what that meant. But that also implies the presence of Nihility? For some reason? Why is Nihility here? As a touch of red will be waiting you at the end of the path. Don't look back. It'll guide you and illuminate the way out. By doing so, you'll eventually reunite in the warmth of the sunlight. She's lost? Oh. What's this? What in the world are these shadows and voices?
All of this is proof that you once lived. Your soul, your memories, the years you've journeyed through, and the path they revealed, leading you back home.
Who is that? That's not Trivia's. Is that Mem? No. I don't think that's Mem. That doesn't sound like Mem.
All of this is proof that you once lived.
No, that's not Mem. It's a little raspier than Mem.
So, continue onward. Do not stop moving forward, and do not let her sacrifice and the support of all who have stood by you be in vain.
Sounds like a slow talking Mem. It does, but like no, it's raspier than Mem. It's also lower pitch. Also like this. Hold on. I'll go home again. Okay, so how they revealed the new back home. So continue onward. Do not stop moving forward, and do not let her sacrifice in support of all who have stood by you and be in vain.
Over here, friend!
Hi, Mem. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, yeah, listen to that.
So, continue onward. Over here, friend! So, continue onward.
Different voice.
Do not stop moving forward.
Because there's that
and
extra
do not let her
raspiness to it.
Sacrifice and the support of all who have stood. Over here, friend!
Yeah. Hey, Mem.
Take my hand. Let's go home.
Let's go home. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Where is it? We are going to... I need to play the song. Get me out of here.
I'll go home again.
No, they don't just say Mem the entire quest.
Let's get out of here.
Sorry. I had to. Anyways, I love that song. Goodbye, Netherrealm. Hello again, Mortal Realm. Yeah, no, Mem actually like has a character arc and shit. Let the trailblazing continue. In 3.3? Yeah, Mem actually has a character arc. They start off just saying Mem, and then they start off just saying Mem, and then they have like a couple of words here and there, and then they actually start talking full sentences, and it's actually kind of cute. Sorry for the loud, because that song fucks so hard. Yeah. Anyways. I'm back.
At last. I knew you could do it.
Bye-bye, casters.
Your soul is still perfectly whole. As if some kind of force is trying its best to keep it together.
That could be so many things. That the Force trying to keep our soul together. That could be so many fucking things. That could be Fuli. That could be Mem. That could be the Stellaron. That could be so many things.
Is it Orynyx's final
It could be
blessing?
Orynyx. Like,
Or is it a miracle of your own?
yeah. I mean, it's tied to Fuli partially. Possibly.
It's truly incredible. Such a strange surge of familiarity.
So probably Fuli that's doing the.
So hard to describe.
Good thing we didn't go kaboom. True.
Perhaps it is fate, once again fulfilling its own design. Or perhaps it is the laws from beyond the sky, so familiar to you, that intertwined our fates long ago.
I like how there's 3 different fucking words for that line that intertwined our destinies, paths, or fates. You choose.
It seems that this is the riddle which cannot be solved anytime soon.
Yeah, we got a couple more patches.
The sensation of becoming
Like 6 more patches.
is truly wondrous. It's as if the river of souls is winding its way through the depths of my spirit, transforming with each breath into a fine rain that nourishes the world. Do you recall that process? At the end of the sea of flowers, the souls of the living shall warm thy fingertips, and after an embrace, there shall be eternal separation. I promised you that I would do everything in my power to give it another meaning. Now, as I stand as a demigod, and destiny draws to a close.
Does Dan Hung know how to deactivate the Stellaron like Walter? Don't believe so. Well, you have to remember that Walter was a fucking Hersher at one point. Don Hung is just kind of a dude.
I can finally end it in a way that is as beautiful as it deserves. The wish I once sought, but could never grasp is now within reach. In this brand new world, every blooming life will lift its arms in celebration and recount the profound meaning of
I don't
this
even think
very
Don Hung knows the whole story behind Walter, so like...
Every embrace we share will never again be an ice-cold loss. They will radiate with an intense warmth, sowing love far and wide throughout the
Truly.
land. The other shore.
Ah,
It's very
that's a
cold.
term. That's a Genshin term.
May I borrow your warmth? One last time.
Hug. No.
Thank you for fulfilling this wish of mine.
No.
The place I'll be going to is what humans call the Land of Sorrows. But with this heartbeat and the residual heat of this embrace, I shall turn the nether realm into a gentle place of rest.
That's cool as shit. Oh.
This embrace may be brief, but it's the proof that I once lived.
Oh.
Farewell, then. May we reunite.
Oh
in
my
the new
god, the
world.
Genshin parallels. Okay. Presently on Akuma. Before we continue, I need to run to the bathroom.
That grand and absurd performance was what you've been seeking your whole life?
Okay. Before we continue, gonna run to the bathroom. I will be right back. Music that won't land me in jail. Shuffle. It's quiet. Okay. Cool. I will be right back. Give me a quick second. Alrighty, we back. Let us continue on with this. Think even Himiko knows? I don't think so, no. Cause like I remember you talked to her about it, and she's like, I'm not one to like pry into a man's past or whatever. She's like, everybody on the Express has their secrets, sort of thing. You know, she hated Void Archives, yeah. Yeah, nobody knows, cause even Herta is like, I'm curious, but I don't know. Cause he doesn't like, she's the one that clocks that he doesn't even need glasses.
I gave up everything in search of truth, and it culminated in this very moment. You, on the other hand, performed as I expected. You did not hesitate when you saw the chance to attain power. It's as if you
crave power, like a fly craves rot.
That's a little ominous.
Those are your words, not mine.
But what you said at the end, did you already know what I had planned for Finan?
I may have lost an eye, but my vision is clearer than anyone else. You've nearly exhausted your humanity. You're no different from my current state as a walking corpse.
That's true. I've long since burned to ash over the past 1,000 years. Only he is capable of unleashing a raging fire that rivals our final great enemy.
Says the walking corpse, yeah.
Aquila.
Okay. Our final great enemy, Aquila.
So, this is our last chance. How about we let go of the bad blood between us?
It's very interesting that Aquila is the big
May I
baddie here.
resonate with your core flame,
Like,
Aglaya?
why? What is Aquila's deal?
Please do.
That's impossible. To persist with your soul thinned to such an extent. You're insane.
Just as you fight to lug your corpse onward to complete your unfinished goals, I have my own reasons for doing this. Until Finan grows into his position as the prophesied leader, I must continue to lead everyone on the flame chase journey. I must keep inching forward, even if only as an empty shell.
I've long predicted this was the case, but I didn't think you'd already lost so much. How ironic. We would have avoided so many misunderstandings if you and I had just spoken this candidly before. But casting aside our ideological differences, there is one thing you and I agree on.
Finan.
Yes. He was born to be a hero. He understands the hearts of the people, and I can confidently say he is a far better leader than you. Only he is capable of fulfilling your mission.
This is also very Tsaritsa thing. This is a Tsaritsa deal. Where... Oh, no, actually straight up, that maps really well. Because, like, the Tsaritsa, Archon of Love, Aglaya, romance, she's the one, like, pulling the strings, but the real leader is Finan, who leads everybody else. I feel like I'm like starting to stretch it a little bit, but like still I'm obsessed with that theory of like, yeah, so Aglaya is the parallel to the Tsaritsa, and then possibly Finan is Piero? And the rest of the Flame Chasers are the rest of the Fatui? Possibly?
Sadly, he is a man cursed by Nestia. But by my estimates, his horribly elaborate sense of style should not impede Era Nova.
And flashback to the new artifact set about Snezhnaya. Yeah, true.
Congratulations are in order. We found common ground at the very end of our destined paths.
When you put it that way, it makes me want to take back what I said.
Glaya, we're back. Come welcome our great hero reborn from the ashes.
I hope he didn't hear your earlier assessment.
It wouldn't be the first time I criticized him. A man should be aware of his own shortcomings.
Yeah, we were talking shit about you behind your back. What of it? Unmoor and sail away from the underworld, I think that said. The thing is, Finan is more of his fate is to be a hero, while Piotr is giving Morva is conspiring with the Tsaritsa. True. Do not look back, no matter how sweet and serene the call to remain. That's so, like, so ominous. It's like this call to continue forward. Like, it almost feels like this entire quest is like a... Okay, so something that I found interesting there at the end, right, was like something that I noticed there at the end was this idea that Trailblaze almost is kind of absent from this. Like, the concept of Trailblaze is almost absent from this quest until that moment right there where we're like, okay, let the Trailblaze continue. So like this almost feels like a... This almost feels like a test of like our true dedication to Trailblaze almost. Because like, thinking back on it, right, there has been very, very, very little in the way of like mentions of Trailblaze, even compared to like Penacony or whatever. Like, because during those quests, it's like consistently we'll talk about Trailblaze, we'll talk about our purpose, continue on forward for the sake of Trailblaze, whatever. That was the first time that came up, and we've been...
I'm gladdened by your
the
triumphant return.
10 hours into 3.2. Like, come on.
But I don't see Castris among your number.
Yeah, long story short, she's been Thanatos this entire time.
My theory, but helped you fulfill your mission as well.
She finally understood her origins, completed her trial. I believe she'll always be by her side.
She might not have been able to change her fate, but she still wrote the final verse of her epic herself. Trinin, please recite the prophecy for us. Trailblazer, please surrender that scalding cool flame for us as well. You are the only life she ever saved by her own hand in her 1,000 years on this earth. I believe no one is more qualified for this noble task.
In Penacony, we were also on the traces of 3 Trailblazers, and in Furious it was emphasized a bit in the beginning until we got roped into their situation. Yeah, exactly. Which I feel like at least I feel like it's at least some thematic importance. That we just kind of got sidetracked from the concept of Trailblaze.
And gods who are still watching.
Until we get our soul back.
Today,
Like,
we bring you a soul laid bare. The Hand of Shadow, Thanatos, remembered their name from the past. From daylight they came, and to their fragrant dwelling they return, to walk now among your ranks. And there was one who joined hands with the Titan, a traveler risen from the dead and reborn among mortal kind. She is the everlasting night, and shall now proclaim in her good name, O Majesty of the 12 Titans, pillars of the world. We seek your divinity to mend the rifts of the world. Fill our bodies with blood of gold, till we wither in willing service to the prophecy. Step forward, trailblazer from beyond the sky, and together with us, surrender the core flame and carve their star into the sky.
Goodbye, Castores. Been a minute since we've done this, bitches. That's 3 left, y'all.
A constellation for death.
For life and death, to be more precise.
Look, it's...
Hey, Castores. The Divine Echo. Is that Castores?
No, it's only a divine echo. I think she's here for the trial.
Who's gonna do the trial, though?
What did she say?
That's the language of the Titans. Castorus... No. The Titan... They said... I have illuminated the cold shadow of death.
Onwards. For your path to the future is bright and its flame eternal. Do not forget.
She made quite a scene. I suppose it's my turn now.
I won't stop you.
Professor, you...
What's with that look? You were present. So, let's get this execution over with. We wouldn't want to bring shame to Akima's divine laws or keep me from creating a new world.
You never change, do you, Professor? I don't understand. If your theory is correct, you'll lose all memories of your past life once you become a Titan. So what's the point of becoming a god?
Of course there's a point. Even if I forget who I am, I'll still have my brilliant mind.
That's all he cares about, really.
It goes without saying, I'll find a way to retrieve memories of my past life. Besides, I still have you, don't I?
I still don't really understand what you said during the assembly. Even if it were true, things reforged from memory could never be the same as the original anyway.
I'm having deja vu. Or not like deja vu, but like this is making me think of something. What am I thinking of?
Then allow me to tell you right now that you're wrong. What exactly are we? My answer is that the Chrysos heirs are the future Titans and vice versa. Of course, this answer only applies to us. So, what are we when it comes to regular mortals? The very essence of the world, our souls, are tiny invisible seeds that hold records of each person's memories of the world. And we are the buds that sprout from these seeds to grow into great trees.
Yeah, hi, Fuli. Seeds? Is that a Genshin reference? Well, I mean, we know it's a Fuli reference.
Is that what new sporism means?
What are the three the two paths that we know is here? Noose, and is it Remembrance? Yes, it is. Yeah, because Garden Road. Yeah.
Correct. Once our physical bodies are born, we become new extensions of the world. From there, we plant our seeds into someone's memories, and then scatter them into the hearts of countless people in the future. Just as seeds are affected by their environment, so too will our appearances differ across memories. But the partial memories we carry will always be the same, because that is just how the world is. To destroy our very existence, one must destroy the world itself. But we have someone who will still live on with his perfect memory. That person is you, child of Kefali. This is what it means to be the world-bearing Titan.
So it's just being the giver. Like, this is the plot of The Giver, dude.
So, carry everything of this world and live on. Don't disappoint those most precious to you. Don't disappoint Lady Goldweaver. And especially, don't bring dishonor to my theory.
Anaxa, I swear to you, I'll lead everyone to our reunion in the new world.
Good. That is all I have to say. Farewell, everyone. May we meet again in the next life.
Sweet. Can I do the honors? I want to bonk him with my bat.
Farewell, great performer. May Circes safeguard your thoughts.
Let him in the same way. Seriously, safeguard your thoughts.
Are you satisfied, honorable Titan?
Very. I hereby swear I have borne witness. Anaxagoras of the New Sporists and the Grove of Epiphany has successfully overcome the trial of reason. Thus, I shall confer upon you these words. You shall transcend the peaks of purity and return to corruption and hardship.
Oh, so that's a god's prophecy. It sounds like you just rephrased my past, present, and future.
I mean, that's the entire point of a loop of a samsara.
Is that all you've got?
Well, you've already transcended the peaks of purity. And you were never the type to give me any leeway.
That is true.
But I do still have one question.
Poor person who's gonna inherit the core flame neck. True, true. I feel so bad for whoever has to deal with Anaxa's bullshit.
I knew it. What is it? Maybe we're thinking of the same thing.
Like Cersei's was, I mean, she was definitely obtuse, right? But good lord, Anaxa would be terrible.
As you've so boldly stated, we and the world itself live on through the memories of others. If that is the case, whose memories did the very first new spore sprout from?
How should I know?
Oh my.
But since we are both equally curious, we should allow the children of humanity who come after us to investigate in our stead. Rejoice, Cersei's.
I sow the seeds of suspicion in the new world with your soul!
And now, the objective is complete. That is all.
Good lord, I don't like the idea of that man being a god.
Thankfully, she's still alive.
Hi, okay. Woo! What a bow out? True. Man goes fucking nuts for the bow out. Marchalore! Let's see, what's up with Marchie? What's up with Marchie? Should free my girl from her fucking coma, dude. Okay. I feel she's still alive.
Was March 7th also in this condition when she was first rescued by the Express?
He is the great performer after all, true. From what we understand, she was a little bit more encased. Her condition was very similar, it's just that at that time, the Express did not have a memo keeper who could diagnose her condition. Elle did have void archives, though.
But she still woke up naturally. Looking on the bright side, that might happen this time as well.
That changes from how we understood it, right? Because she was like we look at her light cone. She was entirely encased in the ice, and then Walter and Void Archives free her, and then theoretically she wakes up from that. But give it up for hour 11. But now this is like she's just kind of gonna do her own thing. When March awakened from the ice, her memories were completely wiped clean. I want to prepare for the worst and prevent something like that from happening again. Can you share with us your hypothesis?
I do not have conclusive evidence, but judging by her current condition, perhaps March 7th's memories have been hijacked.
Well, Shama, what the fuck? Okay. Hijacked?
Think about it, Miss Himiko. What will happen when someone loses their ability to remember?
I'm not a biologist, but I hear that there's a species of fish on Vonwak that has some memories, that has a memory span of less than a second. Forgets anything that occurs in the very next instant. Perhaps something similar would happen?
Unfortunately, short-term memory is an entirely different concept from the inability to remember. Perhaps it is difficult for you to imagine, but an individual who has lost their ability to remember turns into nothingness.
Nothingness?
The belief of the Garden is that everything in this universe can be interpreted through memories. This is the driving force behind the continuance of this path. The past is made up of memoria, while the future is a possibility that will eventually be converted to Memoria. But the present, it doesn't really exist, and it's only an abstract expression. Therefore, when a person is affected by the path and loses their ability to remember, their physical form will also be affected. These ice crystals are a manifestation of that.
Miss Black Swan, there is one thing that I haven't looked into deeply until now. You've guided us to Amphorius, but refused to tell us your true intention. Collecting memories is simply not a convincing answer.
Is Miss Himiko suspicious of me?
I mean no offense. I am merely speculating, but I'd appreciate your honesty if possible.
In other words, now is the time for me to prove my innocence. That's not a problem, of course. The true reason behind my intentions is that Amphorius holds special significance. For some memo keepers of the garden with extremist views, it is a perfect example.
Perfect example?
A world that can only be seen through the garden's mirror means that memo keepers have the right to keep the world in their private collection. If those Pathstriders of Remembrance were to uncover the secrets of Amphorius first, they might unleash their wild ambitions and remodel more worlds into a similar form.
So the reason you did everything you could to convince the Express to come to the Star Zone is just to uncover the secrets and foil the plans of these people?
I chose to remain quiet before, because I did not want to involve you in the Garden's internal conflicts.
Remodeling a world is no easy feat. These extremists likely aren't just simple Pathstriders. Do they wield the powers of Emanators?
You can be even bolder with your guesses. The people that I'm talking about, they aren't just individuals. They are an organization that has already attached itself to the pinky finger of Fu Li.
Could they be the ones who hijacked March 7th memories?
I cannot be certain, but at the very least, they are capable of doing so.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, they're like a underground insurgency almost inside of the Garden of Recollection. Oh, that's wild. Okay, so for some reason, March. Oh shit. Okay, so March's memories might not be dangerous to everyone. They might just be dangerous to what these people are doing. Like these underground insurgents that are trying to. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. So what this could be. So when we did March's quest, when we did her whole lore quest with Fushuan, we saw a memo keeper discourage her from digging up her memories, right? Her memories are locked away. She's not allowed to touch them. They're like, if you do this, then fucking everything will die or whatever they said, right? The idea here is that the memo keeper that faced March in that memory, in that quest, isn't an actual memo keeper, or at least is a bad faith memo keeper, one of these people that Black Swan is trying to face off against, right? So these bad faith memo keepers are trying to like take advantage of their power of remembrance to reshape worlds into something that they would like that they can control, I guess. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what the deal with this one is. More radical, yeah. The people that stowed away March's memory were those radical people, or those radical memo keepers that for some reason saw March as a threat somehow. And are trying to just fuck with her.
I am deeply sorry about what has happened to March 7th. But the deal that I propose still remains a fair one. Amphorius is still an excellent destination, and investigating further might allow us to uncover the truth behind the accident. Miss Himiko, the wisest choice right now is for us to continue cooperating.
Gasp. What's wrong?
Let me take back a part of what I said just now, Miss Himiko. Although we indeed struck a deal, it seems like I have involved you in some unforeseen danger. Please accept my deepest apologies.
Black Swan, what the fuck have you done? Has something changed?
It's Fuli. Their gaze has just swept across Amphorius.
Why? What? Okay, what could have prompted that? Oh, hi, Herta.
Oh, how interesting.
What could have prompted that? We just... All we did... We get through these gays, we got Mem. It's unclear. We got Fuli's gaze, but Black Swan phrased it as if everyone, like, Fuli's gaze swept across the entirety of Amphorius, not just us.
I never expected a mere memo snatcher to be actually hiding so much inside her head. What's even more interesting is that the word Amphorius has appeared in her subconscious.
This lady seems to be having fun. Is she usually like that?
It's hard to explain.
What are you two whispering about? Has it not occurred to you that I can hear everything clearly?
Please pardon me, Madam Herta. Would you mind sharing with us what you've discovered?
The ones who need help are the Astral Express. You will have to put up with my methods, even if they are rather unconventional. Let's get back to the topic. By using the fourth mirror, I rummaged through the brain of this memo snatcher and learned a good deal. Not only does this person know of Amphorius, but there are also many memo keepers who are interested in the place. I searched through her consciousness and found the following terms: the Eternal Land, the Rejected Land, and the private collection of the Garden of Recollection.
The Eternal Land and the Rejected Land.
It seems like Ms. Black Swan is indeed hiding some things from us.
Since I'm not able to find any useful clues from the outside, why don't I personally visit this mysterious Amphorius?
Hell yes, I would love some Herta inside of the Amphorius.
Planning to head to Amphorius yourself?
Yes, but not in the flesh like you all foolishly did. See these Herta mirrors? With them, I can project my data spirit entity to any corner of the cosmos through spatial warps, without even needing to leave my room. But of course, these corners of the cosmos must be within the coverage zone of inter-astral peace communications. After all, this is collaborative technology.
I see. You do seem like the more indoor type.
I mean...
Although that star zone is not within the network of the IPC, the Express itself can serve as a signal station. Come, give me the astral chart coordinates. Then, sit back and enjoy the show.
Well, it shares the Astral Express's coordinates with Herta. Not to say this sounds like Voyager, but this sounds a bit like the Voyager.
All right. Now that everything is ready, mirrors, get to work.
which is mirrored reversal. Give an order to the first mirror.
First mirror, input the coordinates. You'll be in charge of the spatial warp.
As you command, Madam Herda. The preparations are complete. I wish you a pleasant journey ahead.
This will be interesting.
Second mirror, prepare for the thought refraction. There's still some distance from the Astral Express to the Emphoria's celestial body. You're in charge of sending me over. This time, raise the power to the...
Oh, okay. I won't fail the mission, Madam Herda.
There's a chest. Oh.
Mirror,
Sorry.
Mirror, you're in charge of generating the data spirit entity.
What kind of a...
Good question. Let me think. Forget it. Just use my own appearance. There's no one there that'll recognize me anyway.
As you wish.
As you
Fourth mirror,
wish.
you'll be in charge of... It seems like I have nothing for you.
Ah, standing by again. That's so boring. Next time, can you count down from 4 instead?
Jin moment.
Preparation of the data spirit entity complete. Thought refraction at max power. Excellent. The first mirror.
Have a safe trip, Madam Herda.
May your journey yield good results.
Coordinates input complete. Preparing spatial warp countdown. 5. Warp activate.
Oh, so that's Emphorius? Its appearance is, well, sure is unique. Second mirror, prepare for thought refraction. It's time.
All right, please read the safety protocols.
Refraction is an interesting term there.
Can't you hurry up?
Yes, ma'am.
Refraction is a very interesting term there because it implies.
I didn't expect it to be so turbulent. I should have asked the second mirror to use slightly less power.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so what's the Flame Reaver doing there? Okay, no. Okay, so there's so much weirdness here. Oh shit. Okay, so why? Okay, my question here is why is okay? So Emphorius is considered the Eternal Land, the Rejected Land, and the private collection of the Garden of Recollection, right? So all of these things, those kind of feel contradictory almost, of like, howdy Canary, welcome. They those kind of give contradictory ideas because private collection and rejected feels weird. And then why would Black Swan be concerned that Fuli's gaze swept over it? Like, she's concerned that Fuli is here?
What a magnificent sight. Is this the entrance to Emphorius?
Oh!
Let's see.
It's a guess, I guess.
Perhaps I'll be able to find a way in.
It definitely is a guess. Maybe different titles given by different groups. That's a good shout, actually.
What's this? A statue? It's ugly.
Okay, what is this actually? Enemies doing something. That is us in Danhong.
I finally found your traces. How esteemed must you be for the great Herda to come out personally? When we return, get ready to become free labor for the simulated universe for the rest of your lives.
Okay. What is... So she's not actually here?
What's this? Oh, how creep. Oh, it moves? Who are you? It's either a projection or a fake. There doesn't seem to be much to take note of. Now then, how am I going to get into Emphorius?
My deepest apologies, esteemed lady. I'm afraid that
Huh?
you cannot proceed further.
Lygus, what the fuck are you doing here?
Who's there?
Your visit, although not part of my calculations, is a pleasant surprise. It's a pity that the preparations are not yet in place to receive you. with the hospitality that someone of your status deserves.
Oh, Lygus knows shit. Lygus knows something. What is your deal?
Are you not going to answer my question? Who are you?
I have many identities, and I'm going to have even more in the future. But if you just need a form of address, you can use my common alias, Lycurgus. Lygus.
All right, Lygus. But you can't possibly think that I'm just asking for a name, can you?
Regrettably, I do not have the authority to share more information.
That's actually a good shout there, Phantom. Okay. Okay. Idea. What if, like, Lygus is... Okay, so, like, remember the, you guys remember that episode of Avatar where they go to the, library? The library in the sand, and they meet the owl? And, like... the owl's like the guardian of all that knowledge in the library. What if Lygus is the kind of that sort of situation, right? Like the curator almost of the Garden of Recollection, of like this private collection. Oh shit, no, that would actually make a lot of sense. So Lygus is like an automaton, right? Or is fucking weird, right? Doesn't like everything about him just doesn't come off as natural, as it feels very computerized, very Noose-esque, possibly. But the idea is Fuli, or whoever created Inforius, right? Whoever created this private collection, so to speak, was like, okay, I need somebody to curate and archive this system, this collection of memories. And so they hit up Noose and they were like, yo, I need, or somebody from Erudition is like, yo, I need somebody that can like do this whole thing, right? That can curate all of this. And whoever was from Erudition was like, chill, got you. Here's Lycurgus, whatever. And then that is the system that is core to this private collection. Because Lygus is more like the curator of this garden.
However,
that's why the
standards are always flexible. While not violating the ultimate agreement, I'm able to disclose this piece of information. As you thought, this is the entrance to Inforius.
Yeah, so like that's why Lygus is appearing before her right now. And is like, instead of like everybody, all these traces are here, but Lygus is actually here because he's the only thing that is both in Inforius and real, I guess? I don't know.
Now, please, kindly turn back. Inforius is not a world that you should be involved with, regardless of what kind of
'cause he is
achievements you have accomplished. This place will not open its doors so easily.
What if he's what if he has something to do with Aquila too? I feel like that would make a lot of sense, as if he has something to do with Aquila. Yeah, good luck stopping fucking Herta. You are only making her more intrigued. Telling Madame Herta, yeah, yo, turn back. But okay, then my question is, why is... Okay, yeah, now this creates the question of why is Herta being treated like this, but we weren't? Why wasn't Stellan Dunhung treated like this? Because the way Herta's entering... I mean, it is different, but like, what's the mechanism that treats it differently?
You seem to understand me very well. Then you should know that I have no reason to listen.
Your reaction is completely within my calculations. Despite my long years as a watcher, it seems like my assessment of human nature still remains accurate. From you, I'm able to sense a beautiful desire for knowledge.
You just gazed upon her status? Yeah. But then my question, though, is... My question, though, is that still doesn't preclude... Because, like, it almost feels like Lygus is acting as like a defense mechanism, like as a firewall, right? God, the computer, ooh, okay. Because this brings up the same question of, or like the same... She's just too smart, would figure out things way too fast and propose that. Oh, no, that's actually a good point. But I still feel like Donhung and Stell are still... I don't know if it's a Genshin reference or a Hoyo theme. True. Could be both. No, but like, I'm still wondering, like... Imagine Lygus transforms into Susty. Lygus is the heavenly principles. Nothing is lit up here.
Madam, it is with the utmost goodwill that I suggest you return to where you came from.
Let's assume for a second that I'm not so well-mannered, and that I insist on uncovering the secrets hidden behind you, Mr. Lygus. How do you plan to dispel this notion of mine?
Within the scope of the ultimate agreement, there are 178,244 logic chains at my disposal to convince you.
Lygus is just two Kianas in a trench coat. Within the scope of the ultimate agreement, that is it's something he keeps citing, which is weird.
After filtering through them, I have determined that I only require 3 to attain the results that I desire.
Oh? I'm all ears.
First, for reasons that cannot be disclosed, Amphorius is a completely isolated celestial body. Apart from me, no one else will be able to help you enter.
Then how the fuck did we end up in there?
That's not a good argument.
Second, if your plan is, as you've alluded to previously, to force me into cooperating by showing hostility, do know that, just like you, I have basked in the gaze of the erudition. I stake my honor, and assure you that, in the worst-case scenario, our mutual destruction will be inevitable.
Oh, no wonder I couldn't find a back door. When I did a scan of our surroundings, the safety protocols on you are comparable to Screwy's. How interesting.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
I assume that you still wish to hear the 3rd logic chain?
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
3rd, Even if you exhaust all your means and find a way to break through, you will surely give up once you understand the consequences of your actions. After all, throughout your long life, as much as you'd hate to admit, your conscience has played a crucial role.
What a brazen robot. You think that you can actually understand me through your paltry calculations? But since you put it that way, why don't you tell me what these consequences will be?
It concerns the third path that is entangled with Amphorius. A path that you and your friends still very much lack understanding of.
Yes, please tell me, my dude. Okay. Whoa.
So, if you ignore my warnings and persist in your ways...
It's the most boring option, but I mean... At least we got confirmation of it. I would have loved for it to be elation, but it's destruction. I mean, fair. I mean, boring, but whatever. You think if he runs fast, he whistles? The air going through the hole. That's okay. I love that.
You will break the shackles of a Lord Ravager. And when that happens, their fury will engulf the cosmos.
Which Lord Ravager do you think it is? What Lord Ravagers do we know of? Okay, so we know of a handful of these guys. We know Fantilia, Zephyro, Emanator of Nanook and the Eon of Destruction. According to the list of arch enemies, Zephyro is a one-man army with a passion for violent destruction. Zephyro is obsessed with raw power and the beauty of things in the moment just as they are destroyed. Also known as Scorching Flare, the Lord Ravager has extreme passions for doomsday scenarios. They're spotted in the Tianhua galaxy, according to the morning actors. That galaxy has been completely destroyed. Heliobus Carolum prophesies that new Bethelum's sun would be ignited by Zephyro. Okay. We've got Selenova. We got list of arch enemies. Okay. Selenova is the frontline general for the Ruin author Nanook. For some reason defying logic, Selenova is Nanook's most frequently used general. Her troops spread throughout the cosmos, weaving a network of destruction between the stars. The Yaoqing, Zhuming, and Fenghu ships all have records of fighting against Selenova's minions. Selenova is the only emanator of destruction to board a Xianzhou ship. Records from the history of the Xianzhou have her requesting a ceasefire with the Xianzhou Zhuming around the year 5700. Of the star calendar, requesting the ship to change course and assist in attacking the homeworld of the Wingweavers. Iron Tomb. Iron Tomb's modus operandi is attacking technologically advanced civilizations. All survivors, without exceptions, we're gonna see you later, or count the same experience, a complete intellectual collapse. In a flash, inorganic AI legions are paralyzed or turn against their mates. Outer space defense arrays begin targeting the home planet flying vehicles scatter at random like flies, unable to target the enemy. Iron Tomb's forte is attacking civilized worlds confident in their technology. Recently, the Xianzhou Yuqing has produced intelligence about Iron Tomb attacking the Baranza Forge. We must guard against his attack as soon as we can. Mystery. The Overlord's name has not been clearly identified, but they have left behind observational records. Stargazers of the Yuche once produced 152 consecutive years worth of observational records about the dead planet Syracuse 3. The Legion crept very slowly towards this front line, building up advantage, exerting pressure, and chipped away at any resistance. Just like observing an ant colony, they watched their victim experience slow, structured collapse. Similar phenomena also occurred during the death of Red Babel, the Ogle Ring, and others. Speculation rose that behind the scenes lay an overlord with the calm, self-sufficient temperament of a chess grandmaster, pulling the strings of strife as it developed. Potential threats of the Alliance are very high. So this is like the chess player. Okay, interesting. The Overlord's name has not been identified, but they have left behind observational records. Based on the IPC records, these 122 planets were plunged into chaos of unknown origin over the past 600 years before their ultimate demise at the hand of the Antimatter Legion. Corporation investigators initially leaned towards these being isolated events, but all disaster assessments reports attributed these events to a single cause: spiritual disintegration. The internal conflicts of belief systems, the crumbling of spiritual pillars, the collapse of trust within civilizations, the complete abandonment of all hope. The Yuchue's Divination Commission believed that behind these series of events lurks an unseen Lord Ravager. Okay. This one is at the top of my list right now. Next one. The Intelligentsia Guild has provided a light comparison map of the star zone around the Yavana chain. 1/3 of its stars have been extinguished by some unknown force for nearly 300 years, and it is beyond reason to suggest that this has occurred naturally. The Antimatter Legion roams freely across these worlds shrouded in darkness, raining down destruction upon this eternal nightscape. Survival from the Yavana system termed this one the Sun Devourer. And then the last one. The ecologists from the Luofu's Realm Keeping Commission once researched a strange world that has completely been converted into antimatter. All antimatter objects hurtle towards their matter counterparts, releasing a destructive dazzle upon impact. Antimatter Legion creations have always had distorted, twisted appearances. When destroyed, many instantly explode with an intense backfire, dragging their enemy along with them to their destruction. Perhaps a strange characteristic is derived from this unnamed overlord. 2 lines of the postscript are recorded at the bottom of the dossier. The Cloud Knights have been created following Rainbow's edict to fight against abominations. So many battles were had against the Antimatter Resistance Foundation in the foreseeable future. The Cloud Knights will be because all means a rune author so adequate. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking it's this one. Attributing spiritual disintegration, internal conflicts between belief systems, crumbling of spiritual pillars, collapse of trust within civilizations. I think it's this one. I think it's the chess player. Oh, that's just straight up the end of it. Okay. Good lord. And that's time, bitches. 11 hours, 36 minutes, and 9 seconds for me to complete version 3.2. Good fucking lord. Okay. Before we continue and watch the new trailer, I'm gonna run to the bathroom again. And then we will see what is up with the next version. So I will be right back. Give me a quick second. Okay, we are back at it. Let us move on here to talking or watching the trailer for the next patch, because I am curious about that idea that I am curious about this idea. That the chess player is foreshadowed in this next patch. What we got?
Oh.
Let's actually mute the game. Let's see what we have next. Hopefully this next quest is not fucking 11
My
goddamn
ancestor,
hours.
Seliosi the Day Thunder Knight, raised her spear against the sky and ushered in the flame-chasing era that continues to this day.
Miss Hyacinth!
Lila Ika. Let's have a break.
Oh, the first trailer of Amphorius. Okay. I'm still watching this because she is so cute. Pink Barbara.
May this faint light.
Dude, it shows a chess piece being moved? Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Dispel the gloom. Restore the skies. The Chrysos Heir's flame chase journey is nearing its end. Friends, let us soar together.
What the fuck is that?
Seriously, where did they hide that thing?
Cat and mouse time!
Don't fight so I can leave early. Our cute play session is over. This cat will take it off.
Ooh! Ooh, get fucked. Okay. So do we think the Flame Reaver is the Lord Ravager?
Certainly.
Or is it a manifestation of it? Also, hi, Isle Donhung. What the fuck?
Awaken, lady Seliosi! Witness.
Hold on.
Leave this to Casterus and me.
Leave this to Casterus and me? Huh. Why is she still here?
Awaken, lady Seliosi! Witness the will of humanity!
That's a thing.
I am.
Excuse me? She's just fucking dead. Okay. You know, Cypher's just, dead. Whatever. Flame Reaver's sword is weirdly similar to Finan's. Interesting. Okay. Is that Finan or is that Donhung? That's Donhung. Another tribute dies.
The blazing sun destined to rise!
He cries a lot seeing Cypher. Oh yeah, she'll be fine. But like, it's still really, really interesting to see her like that. I mean, okay, to what extent does that look similar to Finan's sword? And to what extent is that just they look similar because they're big sword? Not sure that, okay, that does actually have a little bit. No, that does actually have a lot of.
Awaken,
similarities.
Witness.
What did she say there?
Awaken.
Ciliosi. Also, yeah, I will check HSR theories. Yeah, the guard does look similar. The hand guard looks similar. It looks... I mean, it's similar, but it's not... It is interesting because it looks very, yeah, it's a similar sword, but it's like twisted almost.
Lady Celiosi. Witness the will of humanity.
This is this is very Evangelion. This is so Evangelion. Like, this is like almost rebuilds-esque.
I am the blazing sun destined to rise!
That also does give me destruction vibes. Because that is something that destruction is very intertwined with. And then also the idea that it's also been a lot of this stuff about like golden blood and all that jazz, because gold is something that's very intertwined with destruction as well. Warming the floor while waiting for his soul to make it back while the world keeps going, but see him, it does, yeah. Yeah, it is a little rough. Something I'm actually curious about here. Two things. It's always this trailer. Always this trailer. At the universe's core lies a flame. That's probably a coincidence, but also really funny. It burns ever so intensely until entire galaxies are incinerated for the sole purpose of embracing splendid destruction at the end of all realities.
Yet that light began to burn, piercing through the clouds as a golden death. Towers crumbled, and the people fled, for the sun was soon to set and meet with vicious destruction.
Look at that shit. The fall at dawn's rise. It is a parallel, at least. Oh, shit. No, okay. Cyclical. Oh my god, that is... Oh, shit. Okay. So... Okay, this is part of the reason why I really like this game, is because you can take... Like, some of these probably are definitely not intentional, but also there is some crazy shit that you can do with the symbolism in this game. So, if we talk about this, right, and we interpret the setting of the sun as destruction. Howdy, Rika, welcome. Can I request something? Of course. Okay, so yeah, so the idea here is the setting of a sun is representative of destruction, of the destruction of a place, of a whatever, right? Then when How am I gonna phrase this? So the setting of a sun is indicative of a destruction, right? Because of what's being said here, right?
Towers crumbled, and the people fled, for the sun was soon to set and meet.
Yeah, the sun was soon to set and meet with vicious destruction, right? So we have setting of the sun is indicative of destruction. So then the rising of the sun would be indicative of like a new era, right? But the sun is the same thing, right? What's going on here? We finished HSR. We finally finished 3.2 in 11 fucking hours. And now we're watching the new watch the trailer for 3.3 and theorizing, because yeah, I'm finally done after 11 fucking hours. Yeah, so that would make a lot of sense if Finan was the same thing, because at this point of the story, he's going to become the rising sun, but then at some point, the sun also has to set and meet with destruction. So that's the cycle there of creation and destruction. But then that also doesn't really make sense that he would be the world-bearing Titan, would he? But then we also, if we look at Kefali, reacting to Hugo trailer at some point on stream if you haven't watched it already. Yeah, I'll look at it. Myriad Celestia and Travail, you know it. Where can we look at Kefali? Because we also have that idea that Kefali is Kefali looks like with like all the golden blood and shit. Yeah. Yeah, look at that idea of like gold and whatnot.
With vicious destruction.
That's the idea that I have here.
Based on the thundercloud stacks seized by allies. About them before we begin the campaign.
For a new blazing sun to rise upon the world, the hero must sever the sky's final eye. Yeah, exactly. So it's that idea of a cycle of a day is the sun rising and the setting. So the same force will rise to create a new era and then will set to destroy it. But it's stuck in that cycle. That's really interesting.
I've always been responsible for the kind,
you know,
of the they claim the spirit.
This makes me more curious.
Heal every vulnerable person. To keep the
Hey, this.
What do you do is my question.
And I'm skilled at protecting my teammates in battle. After using my ultimate, I can restore HP for all allies and increase their max HP.
Increase max HP for everyone in the team.
We who fly in Twilight.
Both my ultimate and my skill can restore HP for all allies. As well as summon my good helper, little Ika.
Aww.
It looks so chubby. Like a cute plushie.
Adorable.
Hugging it must feel very nice. Not only is little Ika very huggable, but they're also a great help in battle. Whenever a teammate's HP decreases during battle, little Ika will consume their own HP to automatically restore HP for the teammate.
Okay.
In other words,
So it's just like Soraka. It's like for over a week and a half, and it's kind of mild. It's like giving me weird sensory overloads. Yeah, I hope you feel better. That's really weird. Being sick does weird shit like that.
Ika will automatically heal teammates both when they get hit and when they actively consume their own, with both Hyacinth and little Ika healing us.
Apart from healing teammates, little Ika can also attack enemies. The more healing little Ika and I provide, the more damage little Ika deals to enemies.
Oh, okay.
And my mood is lifted as well. Like a clear sky after rain.
Game Designer told me he had COVID, which is exactly with me. It took him 3 weeks to recover. Oof.
Gentleness is a strength
That's
on its
not
own.
good.
This colorful rainbow healing isn't all about the body. Revitalizing the spirit is very important too.
Hey, that's the chess master.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's got to be the chess master. And then we were also going to look at the first Amphorius teaser, right? Where was that?
Arrived in a golden age. Even now, Kefali continues to bear the dawn.
Is this it? Which one is it? You... Because that's Sunday. That's Fugue. Yeah.
The dawn. In the beginning, there was light, and the Titans created the first heaven and earth. Then Kefali molded humans and made a calendar to mark the passage of time, giving birth to history. Humanity thrived in a golden age. Their countless cities covered the world, sometimes
It's totally just the same voice, yeah.
sometimes in strife, till the heretical black tide came from beyond the sky and swallowed Amphorius. Oh, the mighty Kefali lifted the dawn on their shoulders, and thanks to their protection, the holy city's walls stood tall. But a Titan's eternal slumber was the price we paid. Now darkness envelops.
I don't know if Chrissy's still here.
And the horns of war sound from within Castrum Kremnus' ruins. The black tide took Nikador.
Okay, this is all stuff that we know. We've already done that.
Madness.
Interesting that this trailer confirms that the Black Tide is not local to Amphorius. It is completely...
The messengers beg, hastening to the remaining cities for help, but receive
Yes, you, Chrissy.
only silence in return.
Yeah, look at that, the golden...
Temple of the Three Fates, Yanosopolis. Are the priests there willing to share their god's prophecy? No. The scales have long been broken, and Orynyx the Time Weaver hides in the mist, their prophecy silent. The cradle of knowledge, grove of epiphany. Are the sages there, willing to provide their knowledge? No. The flames of war burnt through all the leaves. And even Circe's the reason Titan.
This is what we just did.
Embrace. Ah, death. Thanatos, the Death Titan, once
Yep.
promised to guide the deceased back
Okay,
to
this is the new
Pluto's
stuff that we
source.
haven't touched yet.
But even when the ocean waves have fallen silent, where is the Reaper who protects the lost?
Now we know.
And Aquila, the giant god of the sky, why have you closed your eyes, leaving
Whoa.
humanity alone in the Evernight?
Okay, so that's the boss that we're fighting next.
What has happened to you all? Even now, Kefali continues to bear the dawn, but the holy city's walls will not stand eternal. The age of Titans has fallen, and only heroes can bring hope. One day, the nameless deliverer will inherit the gods' core flames and reform this broken world, just like that world bearer, Kefali.
Okay, so that wasn't it. Interesting, though. Which trailer were we talking about?
There are mortal.
Stand down.
See you tomorrow. Oh, you won't regret.
Treeby, see you tomorrow.
When you have a chance to make a choice, make one that you know you won't regret.
Stand with me and become
Callback to Kafka is weird. Where was this reference? The one with Aglaia talking about the prophecy? Not that one. Giving out the star rail. This is the Herda kitchen one. Herda, legendary Furious. Oh, Aglaia trailer. No, not the Aglaia trailer. This one.
In the legend's beginning, the world was pure chaos. Then the gods cast down the core flames, and the titans were born within. 3 titans carved the heavens and earth, 3 wove the threads of fate, 3 molded life with their hands, and 3 guided calamity's gate. The titans' blaze enlightened civilizations, and people of all realms thrived endlessly. But the golden age was fleeting, and from beyond the sky came the heretical black tide. Its gloom was darker than death itself, driving the titans to madness and the mortals to mutual war.
Yeah, no, right there. That's the love the rule of 3. Oh, I love the rule of 3. It drives me fucking bonkers still. Right there, that is 100,000% the chess master. It's gotta be. Cause yeah.
Titans to madness, and the mortals to mutual war. Strife broke out across the land, and the stain of blood consumed the light of dawn. As the gods waged war, the sun itself grew quiet in awe. A millennium of divine conflict left only a shattered world and an age of darkness. The core flames flickered and dimmed, and the age of the gods met its end. Golden blood fell to the ground as a distant prophecy resounded.
That's destruction right there.
Flow, golden blood, flow.
So now we know that the golden blood motif is code for that's the destruction. But then that also begs the question, right? We know that the black tide is from beyond the sky, right? Or so the prophecy says. So because how I'm interpreting this now, right, is Lycus's last line at the end of that quest pretty much implied that all of Amphorius is literally just a prison. Like, it's just one big prison for a Lord Ravager.
Converge into a...
So is the Black Tide the Lord Ravager itself? Or is the Black Tide like an external force of destruction trying to break the Chessmaster out?
Boiling river that flows to the heroic heirs of this world. Aglaia the Gold Reaver, you must gently caress the holy city's silken web and hearken to the sounds and voices of destiny. There shall be the 3-faced messenger traversing through myriad doors, bearing tidings to you from hundreds of worlds. Anaxagoras the Foolish has enough knowledge to refute faith and to stir up a torrent capable of slaying gods. Go seek the priest who severs dawn from dusk, and let the sky become the slumbering cot from which she wakes.
Okay. Who severs dawn from dusk.
from dusk, and let the sky
Become the slumbering cot from which she wakes.
become the slumbering cot from which she wakes. They can
Interesting. Severed dawn from dusk. Okay. Okay. Here's the idea here. What if, because of this connection that I drew earlier, right? We're saying that destruction is a setting sun, and Finan likens himself to a rising sun, right? And if we're talking about how the Flame Reaver and Finan are similar, right? What if the Finan and the Flame Reaver are one and the same, that kind of are two sides of the same coin almost, right? Where Finan is the rising sun, the Flame Reaver is the setting sun. Flame Reaver is more the destruction side of things, but in order for destruction to exist, there needs to be something that's created, right? So Finan is that other side of things. This line is severing dawn from dusk, so severing Finan from the Flame Reaver, which, like, does that kind of make sense? Like, am I going nuts, or do you follow this line of reasoning? If we wish to welcome the new, then we first embrace the end. I actually haven't seen yeah, no, true. That's also a good point. That's the next description. Actually, I haven't seen the drip marketing yet. Sayonara. Okay, here it is. Okay, so here is Finan's drip marketing. Apparently there's text here. But should dawn have never existed, let the fires of range burn this body to ashes and transform into the blazing sun of tomorrow. Yeah, so that is divine authority, ... That's interesting. Remote frontier village isolated from the world now lives on in cryptic memorages. Nameless hero, the crisis era carrying the core flame of world bearing. You must memorize the ideals of all worlds, carry the fate of multitudes, and bring the first light of dawn to the new world. But should dawn have never existed, let the fires of rage burn this body to ashes and transform into a blazing sun tomorrow. Okay, yeah, that's wacky.
Dusk, and let the sky become the slumbering cot from.
So it's almost like this whole thing is very, everything about this is very cyclical in this really weird way. It's really cool how everything is cyclical.
They can roar, might nurse the undying. pierce the enemy's king with Kremnos' blood.
Oh no, here's an idea. Here's an idea. What if everything about the everything about the hold on, actually, did you see Amphorius has ushered in the dawn? Yeah. Yeah, I was saying that. Okay, so that's what we're looking at, right? My idea that I'm coming up with here is, what if the power of this strike, or of this Lord Ravager, was split a la the Gnosis, right? Like, what if, and now this does draw a lot of problems with the whole Genshin parallel theory, but the idea though here is this world was designed as a prison for a Strife Titan, or for not a Strife Titan, fucking a Lord Ravager, right? A very smart, cunning Lord Ravager that exists kind of in the shadows. Is pretty much Fentilia on crack, right? That's what this entire prison is for, is to trap the, it's pretty much like a, yeah, it's here to trap a Lord Ravager in a cycle, right? And so I'm thinking, like, what if this Lord Ravager is split up? Their ideas are split up into these core flames, a la the Gnosis. So like some of these map really easily to a Lord Ravager that we know is very, very to a Lord Ravager that we know is very cunning, right? We know we have the chess player. So some of these map really well. Strife, obviously, that maps to any Lord Ravager in Destruction, right? Trickery also maps to the specific Lord Ravager. Death, again, Destruction, very, very clean mapping. These three I'll get to. Reason, chess is a game of a lot of reason, of logic, of studying, of that kind of stuff. Law, the rules, the balance, back and forth sort of thing. Passage and time feels a little trickier. Time at least may be like a turn. The idea of turns, you take turns back and forth, maybe to a clock that you have, like that's the idea. And then passage, I'm not sure about passage. Romance, not entirely sure about this one either. And these are the really weird ones, because these three almost feel like they're less about the Titan, or not about the Lord Ravager, but are more of like the chains that keep them locked in, right? Like these three consist of the prison, and the other 3x3 are, wait, how does, wait, no. Here's an idea, though. Here's an idea. What if these three are the actual chess master, and the rest of these 9, are the prison itself? The creation titans being linked to the creation of said prison? Exactly. Now, I'm wondering if... Or maybe all of them are... Maybe all of them are? The prison? Okay, let's keep watching this, actually. Not that one. This one.
Set her in motion, Cypher the fleet-footed. Command the frozen time to once again flow. And that servant of the Hand Shadow, the daughter of River Styx. If you grant her the right to embrace, then even frozen death will sleep peacefully at her fingertips. You will hear the sound of the ocean's abyss reverberating through the storm.
That is Dan Heng. We know for a fact that's Dan Heng now. So Dan Heng will become... I guess? Wait, where do we get this from? Oh, we get that from Divergent Hero. Okay. No idea what's up with Hysolens. Oh, no, it's you. Okay, got it. Yeah, no, that's Hysolens, though. But then why the fuck is Dan Heng here? Okay. Oh, no. This is Hyacinth, or whatever your name. Hysolens? Yeah.
Through the storm. You will see outlanders from faraway realms visiting under the veil of gloom, until the journey's end, when the titans of old have all fallen, and the nameless new king ascends the throne alongside countless heroes.
That's the chess reference. Let's see what we can get from here.
End.
That looks like the Flame Reaver almost.
The titans of old have all fallen, and outlanders from far away's abyss steps. You will hear the sound.
But she's also dead according to that mention. Yeah.
Abyss reverberating through the storm. You will see outlanders from faraway realms visiting.
Does that look like Stell to you? Kind of.
Under the veil of gloom, until the journey's end, when the titans of old have all fallen, and the nameless new king ascends.
Nameless new king, specifically. That is a queen. It looks like. It looks like that looks like they're placing down a queen. But okay, note that the star is there. There's a star here.
Ascends the throne alongside countless heroes to embark on the grand mission of deliverance.
Look at this eclipse. Okay, yeah, no, this is an eclipse right now. That eclipse is happening, and over in this trailer, oh yeah, over here, we see the same thing. So that was our first hint of cycle.
To embark on the grand mission of deliverance. I gaze towards the distant future, where the sun shall etch the footprints of humanity.
It's that eye that keeps popping up, too. What's up with the eye?
The children of humankind, known as the Chrysos As, shall pluck the god's core flames, and once more uphold the world. The flame chase is a
Aquila has the eye motif. Yeah, but that doesn't.
of constant loss.
Because to me, the eye could either be Aquila or because Lygus described himself as the Watcher. I find him.
Among which even life itself holds little value. Therefore, we cast even our
This looks like the Flame Reaver almost.
ourselves into the flame. Only to inscribe the opening stroke in the poem of creation.
Last one is Cereja, the first one is Iceland's, yeah. That's an interesting choice. To have this go out like turning off a TV.
Little value. Therefore we cast even ourselves into the flame. Only to inscribe the opening stroke in the poem of
Remember what Herta found? Well, she found a lot of things.
creation.
At the end of 3.1? What specifically? Jog my memory. I don't remember.
Creation of deliverance. The name and this reverberate. There shall be the three-faced messenger traversing through myriad
JTV
doors,
vibes? Okay,
bearing
fair enough.
tidings to you from hundreds of worlds. Anaxagoras the Foolish has enough knowledge to refute faith and to stir up a torrent capable of slaying gods. Go seek the priest who severs dawn from dusk, and let the sky become the slumbering cot from which she wakes. Make him roar, might nurse the undying. Pierce the enemy's king with Kremnos' blood. Set her in motion, cipher of the fleet-footed. Command the frozen time to once...
Command the frozen time to once again flow. Okay, so then that also brings up the idea. Oh, we have... Okay. So remember how they've talked about how, like, the citizens in Akama have never experienced night? Because the sun is always in the sky in Akama? What if that's what that symbolizes? Is the kind of... Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. This is. I'm processing this theory in my head as it's like happening. So, what if the central core of this prison is circular time, right? Like we were saying, a loop. In order for this loop, or in order for this prison to work, time needs to be looping. Tomorrow needs to keep coming again and again and again. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. In order for this to work, in order for this prison to work, time needs to be looping. But if time stands still, then things are slowly going to start crumbling. This prison is slowly going to start just falling apart. what if one of the things that the chess master wants to do here is freeze time, make the sun stay in its place, never come to for tomorrow, so that they can slowly allow this entire prison to fall apart and for them to escape. Like that. And Cypher's job here is to get time to continue flowing. And for Cypher to, like, if Cypher allows the cycle to keep going, that allows for for Finan to serve his role as the rising sun for the next loop, the next tomorrow.
Servant of the hand shadow.
That guarantees that the chess master stays, locked.
If you grant her the right to embrace, then even frozen death will sleep peacefully at her fingertips. You will hear the sound of the ocean's abyss reverberating through the storm.
That's the one I'm so curious about.
From faraway realms visiting.
And this one just doesn't make. This is so random. It just feels like a change of subject. Okay, there's still an unbelievably long list of generated results. Something about how the Divine Euphorius team will swap out the current crest emblem for one in King Bavaru's likeness in the next season. I hope that could be of some help to you. Whoa, okay. That's a weird... That's a weird line. You know what this reminds me of? Let me pull it up. Oh, sorry, Mem. I didn't realize Mem did a thing. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of this very specific SCP. So the entire point of this SCP is it is a DVR recording. It is a VCR recording of the season opener, or not. It's a DVR recording of the season opener of the 2010-2011 NBA season opener. But every time you play it, it's like the people in the DVR recording are stuck in a time loop, where every time you play the recording, it plays again, right? Although initially diverging from the original broadcast only negligibly, such as quarter point totals and occurrences of fouls, SCP-1733 has begun to directly markedly digress from content of its earlier playbacks. Recorded entities have been observed to retain memory of previous playings and have such as developed a burgeoning awareness of their existence. It is hypothesized that playbacks impart an unquantifiable measure of cognizance to the entities inhabiting the SCP, with consecutive playings greatly expanding recall of previous events. This effect is cumulative and extends to all persons in the area. That's the idea. That's what this reminds me of. How do we get from HSR to SCP? Me. Don't worry about it. Yeah, my brain works in fascinating ways. Yeah, that's where my brain goes. Okay. We still have a couple of things. You have a 2K monitor? Yeah, I do. Bavaru sort of species in HSR? Yeah. No, it's 2K. It's 1440p. Okay, those flame chasing people, those forgotten stories as ever. Let's read Hyacinths, because I haven't actually done that. Yeah, it's 144 hertz, 1440p. It is actually kind of crazy. On the leaves, the rustling wind plays a melody. As the girl looks over this courtyard petite, and exhales, gently dispersing the palm-held blessings. The entire yard is lit softly like a dandelion bathes in sunlight.
Is this courtyard a tad too small?
It's okay, Clementine. As long as it provides warmth plenty.
What kind of machine do you need for this? I mean, nothing terrible. I mean, I do have a crazy graphic card that I haven't plugged into, but that's really it. The girl makes the courtyard tidy, and in the evening lands outside the holy city. There is now a light cursing souls melodies. The girl's skills can bring forth miracles, but today she welcomes a patient quiet, quite special.
Welcome to the Twilight Courtyard. How can I help you?
The grave.
The end times are coming, and we all wander more and more. Oh, you may heal our wounds, but you cannot cure despair.
The girl watches the patient leave, and her heart swells in sorrow.
Clementine, prepare some things of me. I want this place to be brighter tomorrow.
The redhead child takes the girl's hands.
Long time no see, Hyacinth. Are you here in Akama for a visit, or do you need help from us?
The girl recounts her needs.
I want some shining things, even if they're considered junk.
The multicolored paper bags, crystal clear glass, cottons variously dyed, and jingling wind chimes. The girl brings them back to the courtyard and spares no effort to decorate all around. And then some fireflies wander in. The girl is all smiles.
Little ones, thank you for your light.
The patient returns here and opens their eyes wide. Multicolored dreams on the rooftop now reside, and the lawns contain the sweet whispers of sunlight. A soft breeze passes with no hint of cold, only serving to wake the playful chimes in ocarinas of delight.
Wow, there's light everywhere. What a warm place.
The news is soon spread by the grove, and people with empty hearts visit in droves. The girl prepares candies and tea and listens to every visitor's complaint. People say that there once was a star called the sun in the sky, but that star is no longer there. People say that Aquila took away the world's light, but they still left behind a heart bright to illuminate this happy dream in the night. We're still in Ina's dream, y'all. No. It's confirmed we're still in Ina's dream. It's Ina's dream. We're still in it. Like the blizzards in the month of mourning doth calamity fall, burying warmth in dawn's calls. Orderless tides swallow up the grove of reason, and that tiny healing haven is also extinguished, broken, and barren. When the girl far from home hears of such grave news, the wind brings to her a moment of confusion, but it also evaporates the tears that briefly sparkle into being, and the girl still smiles bright and happy. Soon, the people of Akama see once again the girl collecting more pieces and tokens, wanting to rebuild that pure haven. But she never realized that where she stood, she herself was that holy courtyard, that light-filled haven. Interesting. She's adorable, is what she is. Okay. Anyways. My voice is getting very tired. If you cannot tell. Hugo? Yeah, let's do that real fast, and then we will go what's... I have no idea why you are making me watch this, but I'm gonna watch it. Let me turn down this.
Another emergency meeting?
Oh man, I can't miss this.
The captain's already here.
Sorry, I'm running behind.
Listen up. We're about to discuss our person of interest. I need everyone focused. Our target this time is the leader of Mockingbird, the infamous Phantom Thieves Syndicate.
Oh my gosh.
Cunning and unpredictable, they often infiltrate high society gatherings with disguises.
He's literally just a Persona reference. What is up with Hoyo and Persona references now? Because they had an entire joke about it in this quest. He's literally just Joker.
After every heist, they always make a flashy exit. Like he's rubbing it in our faces.
What is Von Lycan doing there?
One time, we finally had him cornered, backed him into a dead end. After him! Freeze! But the bastard found the perfect
Oh my
moment,
god,
smashed
really?
through a window and jumped straight into a hollow. The guy's a lunatic.
Farewell, my friends. I shall return.
Literally just Joker.
Treasure doesn't shine brightest. Lies. By the covenant of
The song too.
steal your light. Your anger is like a dull blade. Can't even cut my shadow. Before chasing the storm, one ought to learn to dance with the dust.
His VA in JP is Joker.
But
Okay.
today will be the end of Mockingbird. This is his next mark. If we use it as bait... Huh? It's empty. What the... Damn it! They're already in here?
His JPPA is literally Joker. Oh my god. That's such a good bit. That is dedication to the bit right there. Oh my god. I love that. Oh. Oh my god. I mean, there's not a whole lot more, but I mean, Von Lycan mentioned, but that's it. Oh. Anyways. I don't know who Vivian is. But anyways, I feel like you'd like Vivian a lot. Yeah, I might. I'm probably gonna wait until I finish, so I'm probably gonna move back to my parents' house, and then I'll probably get started when I have time. I'll actually get started on ZZZ again. Try it again. Give it another chance. We'll see what happens. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am excited to see what else that happens. I'm also excited to play the new Genshin thing. I'll figure out when that happens. I think I'm heading home Wednesday or Thursday. So yeah, we're gonna start playing games more. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next time. So bye-bye, y'all. Oh, I've heard the new quest is juicy, but yeah. So bye-bye, y'all.